Hey, what's going on guys? Marvin here. Welcome back to another video. So if you guys are unfamiliar with how the Q&A video works, you just ask your question down below, and then if it's something that I can go a little more in depth about past just a yes or a no, then I will throw it into a Q&A and answer that for you. So if you guys are dealing with some sort of problem with your Amazon FBA business or just any question in general, just leave them down below, ask me, and then I will answer it in a Q&A video. All right, so let's get started. So the first question is from Ray B. My question is, if Amazon controls the listing, but you see other sellers also selling on the same listing, are those sellers sending product in or are they doing FBM? Just curious, not looking to compete with Amazon. So I actually asked myself this question all the time in the very beginning when I would see multiple other sellers selling alongside Amazon, when on the keeper graph, the entire listing seemed to be completely dominated by Amazon. So how are these people moving so much product or moving any product if it looked like Amazon was completely controlling that listing? Now there's a few different ways that these people are moving this product. One, if you guys are familiar with some of my older videos, you guys know that I actually tested out one of the products that looked to be completely dominated by Amazon on that listing, and I was still selling alongside Amazon even though it showed that I hadn't gotten one sale. So it might be a listing like that. It's not the best strategy to follow because it could be a listing that Amazon does not share whatsoever, and then you're going to be stuck holding onto that inventory until Amazon sells out. Another way is a lot of these sellers might have stores, so like a storefront, and then they're also supplementing their sales on their storefront with Amazon. So they're selling units in their physical store, and they have the units posted up on Amazon. Another way is that they're doing multi-channel fulfillment. So they know these products move very well in other platforms other than just Amazon, and they're also able to have it on the Amazon website. Once Amazon sells out, then they'll be able to sell on Amazon, but they're also selling in the meantime through other sort of marketplaces. Now, whether they're doing FBA or FBM, you should be able to see that in the competitor's listing. When you look at other sellers, you can see if they're selling FBM or FBA. Some of them might be selling FBM, some of them might be selling FBA, but those are just a few of the different ways they may be moving that product. From Pino Alu, which Amazon warehouse do you have your supplier shipped to? So this seems like a very simple question to someone who's already been selling on the platform, who has already sent in shipments, but this is an extremely common question that new Amazon sellers often have, especially if they're just contemplating getting on the platform, but they haven't really signed up for anything. Very, very simple. If you're wondering this question, you aren't going to decide which warehouse you're going to send it to. Amazon is going to assign you a warehouse that shipment that you're about to send in needs to go to, right? So if you're sending a shipment in, let's say in LA, they might have you send into an LA warehouse or a Northern California warehouse, or it might be in another state and you might have to send it to a different one. But Amazon is going to assign you a warehouse to send your shipment to. You won't know this until you create your shipment plan within Amazon. So once you go to create a shipment, you select all of the units that you want to send in. Amazon will then tell you at the very end which Amazon's warehouse it's going to go to. The next question is from Yacht Now. When you send the labels to your US suppliers, do you pay for these labels on Amazon, or will the supplier still have to pay for shipping, which will then be passed on to me? Okay, so we're getting a lot of shipping questions on this Q&A, so I think I'm going to make a overall sending a shipment video. So if you guys want to see me make a video and I walk you step by step how to send a shipment into Amazon, then let me know down below in the comment section, because I have a lot of shipping questions which I'm assuming you guys are all having issues with. So we can clear that up in one video, and I will make that for you guys. So now back to this question. If you're using Amazon's partnered carrier, then you're going to pay for the postage at the end of your shipping plan on the final page. Once you pay for the postage, you'll be able to download a shipping label. You download that shipping label, you send it to your supplier via email. Once they get it, they'll put it on your box, and then they will send it into Amazon. Now, if you're not using Amazon's partnered carrier, let's say you have free shipping from your supplier, then you're still gonna need to get a label. You're gonna download it, but you're not gonna pay for postage. Then you're gonna have to pay for postage through your supplier, or if you're sending it from your house, you're gonna have to pay from whatever carrier that you're going to be able to send these shipments through. But if you're using Amazon's partnered carrier, it's the simplest way. You're gonna pay for the postage through your shipping plan on Amazon. All right, so the next question is from VK. Do you ship the product to Amazon and then list it to ensure that they have it in the event a customer wants to purchase? No, so this is actually backwards. So I'm assuming you're listing products that already exist on the platform. So you're doing wholesale or arbitrage, and you're gonna add that product to your inventory. Once you add that product to your inventory, then you're allowed to create a shipping plan. You create that shipping plan and you send your products in to Amazon. Now, Amazon won't allow a customer to purchase, assuming you're doing FBA and you check the FBA box. Assuming you're doing that, they won't allow anyone to purchase because you don't have the products in yet. Once Amazon processes and receives your shipment and it becomes available for sale, then somebody can purchase your products. All right, so next question is from F. Saeed. When opening accounts with suppliers, is it important to ask each supplier if they offer bulk discounts or free shipping? This is completely preference. If you want to ask, you can. If you don't have to. I think you should, because it doesn't hurt to ask that question. Asking for discounts and doing all of these different negotiations is completely normal practice in this business. You're not asking for a discount. You're just asking if you buy a certain amount or if you purchase a lot of volume, are they open to discounts once you get to that point? You're not asking for a discount on that first call. You're inquiring about how they operate their business, okay? Some suppliers can give you a big discount. Some suppliers can't give you any discount. So you're just asking in the beginning. It doesn't hurt to ask. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it's complete preference. If you want to ask that down the road, you can. If you want to ask it once you're kind of vetting out that supplier, you can do that as well. All right, so this next question is a two-part question regarding the Amazon buy box issues that we've been having since July. All right, so RW asked if I'm able to do a video going over the new rules about awarding the buy box since the pandemic. He has a couple of listings that have not been awarded the buy box, not one time, even though his metrics look great and his price is exactly the same as the other sellers. Then he goes on to elaborate even more on his situation. I've really had to change the way I do product research. Now I take a really good look at the Keepa buy box statistics to see if they are sharing the buy box with all competitive sellers. But it cost him $5,000 and he's still sitting on that product, unable to violate MAP, minimum advertised price, to get rid of it. And the company is gonna let him run a sale, but it's tied up his capital for 4 months. Now, there are a lot of unknowns when it comes to the new rules that Amazon has implemented for their buy box algorithm. Who is it favoring? Who is it kind of excluding? And how is that rotation actually working? The only one who knows everything that's going on with the buy box and the exact rules is Amazon, obviously. But we as Amazon sellers have been able to take away a lot of the different changes that have been implemented. Now, one of the things that I want to outline is that you have been looking at the buy box statistics for Keepa, which I think is huge now that we're doing product research in this kind of new way of doing things, whether it's temporary or whether this is the long-term strategy that we're gonna have to use. But if you guys don't know, all you have to do is go to Keepa, you click on data and you go to buy box statistics, and you can actually see a whole breakdown of who is getting the buy box, what percentage they're getting the buy box, how much stock they have, what's the review count. So you can see is the people with a lot higher reviews, usually meaning that they're a bigger seller, getting the buy box all of the time. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I'm actually looking at a listing right now and I'm selling a product, the products I've been selling for almost a year now, and there's a ton of sellers that are much, much larger sellers than me getting 8% of the buy box, 3% of the buy box, 2, less than 1% of the buy box. I'm getting 38% of the buy box on this product. So it's not a blanket set of rules. It doesn't seem like in my experience. I've also haven't experienced any product get 0 sales or 0 buy box rotation whatsoever. I have had experience with the buy box not rotating evenly. And there's a few different things that I kind of implemented with those kinds of listings, but me not getting the buy box whatsoever, I haven't experienced that like you're experiencing. Now I know it happens because a lot of people are actually experiencing that, but I've been fortunate enough not to have that happen with one of my listings. So that's one way of doing things, is look at the buy box statistics so you can make sure that things are actually rotating properly. Now, another thing that I've implemented and I've told my students about already is you want to be using a repricer with a more aggressive strategy if it has one. So I use Profit Protector Pro, and they have a super aggressive feature. So they have their tiers, but their highest one for a while was aggressive, and now they've come out with the super aggressive. So it's just trying to dominate the entire buy box. And on some of my listings where it wasn't rotating evenly, I clicked on the super aggressive and it did help quite a bit. Not across the board, but it did help. Now, another strategy that I think you guys can implement, and I think this is probably a very solid strategy to follow, is you want to test before you go deep into a product. Test it out with a small batch, depending on what it's selling. So let's say it's selling a couple hundred a month. You want to test that batch with 30 or 50 units, see how it's selling, see if you're actually getting the rotation. If you are, great, go a little deeper in that product if you have the ability to. If it's not, then you know you should probably stay away from that product. There's a lot of other things that I could go into when it comes to this buy box new set of rules. I don't want to call it a glitch because there's no way this is a glitch. I know that's what people thought that was going on in the beginning, but this is something that Amazon has implemented. If you guys want me to go more in depth, then just let me know down below in the comment section, and I can go over a ton of other things regarding the buy box glitch that I have experienced over time. Just to kind of close out on your situation, you have a lot of inventory. Luckily, your manufacturer or your brand is going to allow you to make a sale. Hopefully that starts getting some units moving, because that is a lot of product to be sitting on and not getting the rotation whatsoever. So hopefully that will help. And obviously you're communicating with your brand that you're working with, but it kind of puts you in a more peculiar situation because you can't break map. So you can't go down in price to be able to beat out some of these other sellers that are getting the rotation. You have to stay at that range that they give you. So hopefully that strategy of you running a sale and dropping the price down a little bit will help you. You can also try to move it on multi-channel, but if you've been experiencing this for 4 months, hopefully that sale will start getting things moving. You can also try to run some advertising on that listing and see if some units start moving, but there's not a clear cut do this in your particular situation, because you're kind of in a different situation than everybody else. You have a map policy that you need to follow. You have to stay in good terms with your brand that you're working with directly, and you're kind of in this weird middle spot. So try those things out. Run that sale, try to run some advertising, see if you can move some product on multi-channel fulfillment. If it doesn't work in a little while, then just comment below and keep us updated on that situation. All right, guys, so if you guys have any other questions that I can go in depth about, give you guys a Q&A video on, just leave them down below in the comment section, and I will get back to every single one of you guys, and then we'll make that video. Now, before we go, if you guys are brand new and you guys want a more step-by-step video that you guys can see, digest, and then see if you're going to take the plunge into Amazon FBA, then you're going to want to watch the video on the screen where I go over exactly what to do step by step, very in depth, that will help you get started. I'll see you guys in that next video.